If you're a diehard fan of superhero media, then there's a very high chance that you have at least heard of the Amazon Prime series, The Boys. Based on the comic book series by Gareth Ennis and Derek Robinson, The Boys series has without a doubt left a big impact on not only superhero media, but entertainment in general. The show premiered in 2019, a time where superhero media had started to become bland and stale. We were seeing either dark and edgy superhero movies where the characters always had to talk in pitch black rooms, or wisecracking comedies where the characters felt the need to make witty remarks every few minutes. Oh man, I sure do love goofy and wacky characters doing goofy and funny stuff. But then the boys came in and were like, hey, let's just make fun of superheroes in a legit clever and funny way. Like, what if Superman was an insane psychopath? What if Aquaman was a creep? What if the Flash just killed innocent people and was also a bit of a shitty person? And what if Wonder Woman was gay, I guess? The Boys basically portrayed superheroes in both a satirical way, but also in a way that still feels fun and recognizable. We get to see lots of fun hero action, mixed with the shenanigans of the main boys, Huey, Butcher, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and Kimiko. And also see lots of commentary about superheroes, corporations, and just real life stuff. All these elements are combined together to create a roller coaster of a show that nearly anyone can enjoy. And as a big superhero fan, I loved this show. I watched all through seasons 1 to 3 in the span of a month or so, and I just fell in love with the series. Although it did feel like season 3 ended on a very strange note. Now this will get into spoiler territory, so if you don't want spoilers, then click off this video. But the way season 3 ended just kinda rubbed me the wrong way. Like, they spend all of the season hyping up the death of Homelander, but then they just don't kill him. They pretend to kill off Queen Maeve and Soldier Boy only to reveal that they are still alive, and even Ryan staying with Homelander despite everything he's done. It just felt off. Not terrible, but it felt like they could have wrapped things up way better. But with the ending of season 3, the next season was hyped beyond belief. Like, the very second camera started rolling on season 4, all of the fans were just counting down the days till we get to see these characters return for another round. It also helped that in 2023, a spin-off of The Boys called Gen V was released, which only added to the excitement. But personally, I was not the biggest fan of Gen V. My opinions on Gen V are rather complicated, but just check out my video on Gen V and hopefully you can get a better understanding onto why I don't like the show. And if you don't agree with me, then please send an email of complaint to this address right here. But then cut to a few months later on June 13th, 2024, when the wait was finally over. The first 3 episodes were released on Amazon Prime, with the rest of the season releasing a new episode every week. And from my viewing of the first 3 episodes, I did really enjoy them. The characters still had great chemistry. I liked seeing Butch genuinely trying to connect with Ryan again. The Blow Away train scene was comedy gold, and the new characters like Sister Sage were really entertaining. It was nice seeing a character that could actually talk down to Homelander. I was quite enjoying the new episodes, honestly. Then over the next few weeks, the rest of the season was released. And were the episodes good? Well, at the time, I thought they were kinda decent, but something just felt weird. The episodes were much slower in pace with some bizarre and downright confusing creative choices. It wasn't until the final episode when I soon realized, fuck, it's a filler season! And honestly, I don't know how I did notice that this was a filler season until the very end, because the warning signs were everywhere. Majority of episodes in the season just felt like nothing, with storylines and character arcs that are either rushed or go absolutely nowhere. Some examples I can think of right off the bat would have to be Frenchie's character arc. They introduced a new love interest for him way out of the blue. And no, I'm not complaining about the fact that he's gay now. They made it very clear in season 2 that Frenchie's bisexual. But if you do want to complain about Frenchie being bisexual now, then please send an email to this address right here. Anyways, my main issue is just how out of nowhere this reveal is. Like, within the first episode, they introduced his new love interest, Colin, despite spending the entire series building up Frenchie and Kimiko's relationship. Like, wasn't it really nice how the two of them were slowly learning to communicate with each other, while also slowly building a healthy relationship? Well, forget about that, cause now Frenchie has a new love interest, which they completely throw away 4 episodes later by the way, leading Frenchie to turn himself into the police. And you wanna know why he turned himself in? Well, it's simple. The writers didn't know how to include him in the next episode, so they just wrote him out, then very lazily brought him back in the next episode. Oh sorry, I meant he feels bad for killing Colin's parents. Yeah. Also, poor Huey man, they really put this lad through hell. I mean, they did always kind of make fun of him for being a skinny twink loser throughout the series.
Take your fucking twink and get the fuck out of here!
Imagine being a skinny loser now, am I right? But for some reason, they really made this guy suffer. His dad dies, him and Starlight's relationship gets very rocky near the end, that sex dungeon scene happens, his mom returns and wait, what? His mom returns? Yeah, so out of nowhere, they bring in Huey's long-lost mother while his dad is in hospital. Now, you think that they will have a good explanation for her absence, and have her be a big important part of the series now, right? Ha ha ha! No. Once Huey's dad dies, she is completely written out of the show. There's not a single mention of her during the final few episodes. They basically create her character for some pointless family drama. Like, you think something as important as Huey's mother coming back into his life would be a big deal, right? But nope. Just a small little footnote. Man, poor Huey. Other main characters like Starlight, Butcher, and Mother's Milk are kind of the same, but also feel very different. Butcher is in and out of the boys because they think he's an asshole, and fair enough I guess. But I did really enjoy the back and forth talks he would have with his wife, and Joe. Not that Joe. That Joe! The one from Walking Dead.
Hot diggity dog! This place is magnificent.
I think it's a really great representation of the classic Devil on Angel shoulder, and I think it was a good call not fully killing him off this season and instead having the disease fully take over him. I know a lot of people are shocked when he killed Newman, but honestly I saw that coming from a mile away. Although Mother's Milk is, weirdly enough, kind of a dickhead. He's really adamant on taking control over the group, but when he does, he just becomes super controlling and hard to watch.
I'm your motherfucking CEO, okay? Which means you don't get a say. You do what I say, and you say yes, sir, as you do it. You got that?
Then there's Firecracker. I fucking hate Firecracker. She exists purely just to have beef with Starlight, and to also feed into Homelander's fantasies. And also so the show can make some political jokes. Honestly, I don't really care about political stuff. Like, I know next to nothing about that shite. I say this because I see a lot of people on Twitter complaining about the political jokes and that The Boys has gone woke now. But like I said, I could care less about politics. All I know is that they renamed the final episode of season 4 for some weird political thing that happened. It's probably nothing. Also, remember Homelander's trial that was really hyped up to be this big thing in season 4? Well, they completely forget about it after the first episode. I wish I was having a laugh in a bubble bath, but it's true, it's just completely forgotten about. Honestly, my main issue with the writing this season is just how predictable it's become. Like, there were so many moments where I could predict the next few scenes or even the entire episode. Like that moment where the stuntman in the film set told Ryan to throw him really hard. Like, wow, I wonder if a show known for its violent moments will kill this guy in a gruesome way. Oh my god, they did kill him in a gruesome way. Who would have thunk it? Except me, I thunk it because I'm very smart. Or in the 6th episode when Huey's about to go down the elevator, I'm honestly surprised no one I knew could predict what will be on the other side. Like, after watching over 30 episodes of The Boys and the spin-off show Gen V, I immediately knew what was gonna happen when he stepped foot in the elevator. I don't think I can show you guys what actually happens, cause, you know, YouTube. But if you know, you know. What a weird episode, man. And so many other moments like Huey's dad dying, Starlight getting captured, Joe only being in Butcher's mind, it all just felt very bland and predictable. Like, The Boys has been doing the same crap for so many years now that it's just become easy to predict what they're gonna do. And it doesn't help how rushed the pacing is in each episode. Like, they will spend so much time in a sex dungeon with Huey, but barely any time fleshing out the characters and their motivations. And that's another small issue here. The gross-out humor has gotten a wee bit too much. Now, I don't want to sound soft or anything, I love me a bit of gore in The Boys, like that whale scene, the first few minutes of the first episode, and the iconic, "He's trying to get into my ass!" Bloody hell, that was a terrible French accent. But in this season, it felt like they were pushing the envelope a bit too much. Like, they really want to be like, hey guys, look how much disgusting and gross we are. Who knows, maybe I've just gone used to the violence in The Boys and just kind of think it's boring now. I'm normal, right? Now, I want to say that Season 4 is not completely terrible. There are some great aspects that I think were handled in a brilliant way. For example, Episode 4 is not only the best episode from Season 4, but probably one of the best episodes within the entire series. It mainly focuses on Homelander getting revenge on the scientist who tortured him when he was young, and some of these scenes are downright phenomenal. They felt like straight out of a horror movie and were genuinely uncomfortable to watch at certain points. I think it's mainly thanks to Anthony Starr's incredible acting here. He can convey so many emotions and feelings all with a slight bit of movement in his mouth. you can tell just how traumatized he was from these scientists, and you do kinda support him throughout the episode. Even if it makes you uncomfortable to watch this stuff, you can't help yourself but to keep watching. But the episode is kinda knocked down a few pegs with the subplot of Huey and Kimiko getting Compound V to save Huey's father. And like, it's not a terrible side plot. Huey and Kimiko do have some pretty good chemistry, but it's just the fact that this mediocre subplot is playing along with some of the greatest scenes in the show. It's just really jarring, you know? The episode before this is also really good, an episode that clearly had a way higher budget than the rest of the episodes. The scene with the Tournament of Heroes game was genuinely hilarious and a great way for Butcher to communicate with Ryan. Also unrelated, but you can tell that Ryan's actor is going through puberty and his voice is starting to crack now.
I mean, if you had a 1 month to live card, then that'd be something.
And of course, no hate to the kid whatsoever, he's doing an incredible job at acting, way better than I could ever act. Also, I really love the VOD on Ice scene. I'm a sucker for both musicals and ice skating, so I just love how much effort was put into such a small part of the episode. I'll say this, it does lead to a really intense sequence with Huey and Homelander, and ends with this happy tree friends-like moment. Just good old classic boy stuff. And in that same episode, we also slowly start to see A-Train's redemption arc, which a lot of people have praised online. And yeah, it's a great arc. He started off, in my opinion, as one of the most unlikable characters in the entire show. Obviously, killing Huey's girlfriend Robin and not really feeling bad about it until later on in the series was not cool, but just the way he acted always pissed me off. But they were slowly showing that A-Train was going to change sides at some point, mainly by having Homelander constantly put him down all the time and call him fat. Yummers. But this season really set out to redeem his character, like having him help out the boys gather information, saving Huey from Homelander, and stealing Compound V for his father. But the one scene everyone talks about where he saves Mother Milk by taking him to the hospital, and that one kid sees him outside, this scene is downright incredible. The look in the kid's eyes and the smile on A-Train speaks so many words despite having no dialogue. You can really tell that A-Train finally felt like a superhero in this simple yet powerful moment. And then they ruined it. Because immediately in the next episode, he explains to Mother's Milk exactly how he felt and what the scene was meant to convey.
When I carried your ass to the ER, there was a kid there. His eyes were like, holy shit. Felt better than anything that I had ever done at VOT.
Like, you ever heard of show, don't tell? We don't need him to explain the emotions he felt in this scene, when the viewers could already tell just by looking at his face. They were so close to being perfect, but just missed the mark. But putting all this aside, I could excuse all these bizarre choices as long as the last episode is good. And sadly, the finale was a complete mess. So much shit happens in this episode and it all goes by so fast. To give you all an idea, let me quickly recap the final episode. So Starlight is captured and is being held hostage while the fake Starlight proposes to Huey. Butcher's now in hospital and on the brink of death. Newman is exposed for being a soup on live TV. The boys are hiding under a secret base of the president, until Huey very quickly realizes that there's an imposter with them. The president is almost killed. The real Starlight comes back and saves them. She's now pissed off at Huey because he couldn't tell that a near identical clone wasn't her. Okay. Grace tells Ryan that Homelander is a terrible person, even though that's kind of obvious. Ryan kills Grace, actually grows hair or something. The disease consumes Butcher, he kills Newman. The boys part ways but get captured. Starlight escapes. And Kimiko finally screams. Fucking hell, mates. You see how much happens in that one episode alone? The finale in general just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like they suddenly realized that they wasted an entire season, so they had to shove everything into one episode. One thing I will say is that I did get a wee bit emotional seeing Kimiko scream for Frenchie, but that's really it. Also, it pissed me off how Starlight just abandons Huey near the end. Like, she could have easily saved him, especially with her powers. But like I said, there's not enough time here, we gotta rush this. It just really annoys me how they basically wasted this entire season to make it a filler season. Like, they could have easily ended things off in season 4, but they more than likely wanted to produce another season since The Boys is insanely popular right now. So in order to get 5 seasons, they just did nothing with season 4. Of course, there are some important things in the season, it wasn't all a complete mess. But the amount of filler, rushed character arcs, and pointless moments just really brought it down for me. It's still a decent season, but it does have me worried for how the series will continue. And with how many spin-offs are releasing soon, I feel like we'll be seeing these characters for a good while now. But who knows? Hopefully season 5 can redeem this season, and the series can return to its roots again. From the stuff we've heard like Soldier Boy returning and his main goal killing Butcher, it does sound very interesting. While season 4 was a disappointment, I'll admit that it has got me interested as to how season 5 will handle things. It could be good, or bad. Who knows? But I would love to know, what did you guys think of the season? I know reviews have been very mixed so far, so I'd love to hear your opinions down below. And of course, thanks for watching this video. I'm trying something new with the live action stuff here, so I hope you guys like it. And if you don't like seeing my face, then I just won't do it again, so... yeah. See you guys.